Hi everyone, welcome to the Australian Formula One podcast. This is podcast number 49, and as ever you're joined by your hosts Max and Pep. Mate, we've had a couple of recent car launches,
yes we have,
which has all been very exciting, and there's been a couple of things that have happened over the last week or so in Formula One, and going to address some of those subjects today, mate. So what did you think about the car launches, mate?
Mate, I thought it was very interesting that Ferrari launched first. I'm trying to remember if they launched first before. I think they're just saying, here's our car, here's what we're going to do, McLaren look out, because, you know, I was loving the fact that the Ferrari launched first, and mate, what a car, I tell you, when I first saw it, my God, it looked beautiful. Very nice looking car.
He was prepared to get rid of his girlfriend to go and marry the Ferrari.
I said, that car is, you know, I said at the start of last year that the Ferrari was looking much more modern, and this season's car just, to me, looks very modern. I love the aero, I love the winglets, it looks great, mate. What do you think?
It does. I really like it, and I understand that there's quite a few of you out there that hate winglets and all this sort of thing, and you know, I can see your point. I thought it was, as usual, a beautiful looking car. Ferrari don't put out an ugly car, and they haven't for however many years now. This thing is absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely saucy, yeah.
And this is a shorter wheelbase car this year, so that'll be interesting to see how they go. But I thought, just looking at it and seeing Kimi and Felipe going around testing it, I thought it looked fantastic, mate. Very impressed. But I think the reason that they actually came out first is to maximise testing time before Melbourne. So a masterstroke.
Mate, I love the front wing. Same with the McLaren. The front wing is just amazing. I think the way that the front wings are moving these days is, they're just incorporating so much into the front wing. That Ferrari looks so good, mate.
Well, that brings us on to McLaren. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it does. I mean, obviously the McLaren looks pretty much livery-wise the same. I noticed a few more aero bits, Max. But pretty much, you know, I was really impressed with the McLaren when they came out with that metallic chrome-looking livery. And now, of course, it's pretty much the same. But I was disappointed that the car didn't look... you know, the nose was a bit thinner, but I wanted a bit more, mate. I guess the livery was the same.
It does look like the MP422 in a lot of ways. There's no doubt about it. There are noticeable differences on it, of course. It's kept the same guys as last year, the same paint as Pep was talking about, which I think looks fantastic.
Oh, it's awesome paint job.
It looks wonderful. Both the Ferrari and the McLaren just look fast, and I don't think we'll be disappointed. I thought the McLaren was once again a piece of art. Those that know me would agree that I think one of my favourite McLarens was the 98-99 McLaren.
Oh, great looking car, mate.
Awesome looking cars, and these things nowadays have just taken it to a new level. So yeah, the McLaren looks good.
Yeah, they're all looking very modern, mate. They're all looking very modern.
Oh, they are. And this brings us on to
Toyota.
Our friends at Toyota. You got some pretty strong thoughts on this, mate.
Well, you know, Max, I agree with what you said on the channel, that it's a very new-looking car for Toyota, but the livery's the same, and that's what I was asking for the other week. I'm just praying for Toyota to bring out a car that looks somewhat different. The chassis looks a bit more aero-y, it looks a bit more modern, but mate...
It does. To me it looks good, but the only problem is, as you said, is...
It looks like every other Toyota.
Mind you, you can't do much with red and white. As Toyota have proved time and time again, but I mean, that's just the way it is. But the thing I was impressed with this year on the Toyota, and bearing in mind all of these car launches that we've just had, Ferrari and McLaren included, they're showing us the bare bones of their car. I mean, this is, you know, these are not the finished product.
They don't want to give too much away.
But in saying that, that's why I was impressed with the Toyota, because despite the fact that it's a vanilla car, it looks different to its previous challenges. It looks more aggressive. It
more
looks
aero.
Like, a lot more aero, especially on the front wing with the fold down flaps.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic. I think it looks great. Colour scheme, ho hum. But I think the car itself looks good.
Yeah, so. I agree. The actual car itself you can see they've tried to take the next step. But I'll tell you what, that livery, it's been the same ever since they joined the sport, I think.
Oh, roughly since 2000, yeah. No, they put a lot of work into it. Mate, so they're the 3 teams that we've had launch so far.
Yeah, much
Ferrari,
more to come.
McLaren and Toyota. We've got a couple of more cars being launched this week.
BMW, Red Bull,
Honda. They're being launched this week, and Honda the week or so after.
No more, no more Globe on Honda.
No, let's hope not. I mean, it was interesting in 2007 to have the One Earth Dream or whatever it was, but I'd like to see the Honda looking like a racing car again on a mobile billboard.
Yeah.
And then after Honda, we've got Renault, which I think everyone is eagerly anticipating, mate.
Yes, they are, especially with Alonso coming back, and I suppose it'll be a blue car again. I'm coming back to livery again, but sometimes it's just so hard to see the aero changes on a car. Like it's so subtle. But yeah, we've got Renault and then Super Aguri, so there's plenty more to come, mate.
Yeah.
And it's always when you log on to the internet and you just see the pictures. You click on the pictures link and it's
the good thing is we're getting to that the start of the season now. There's been a couple of launches. Testing is going on at a rate of knots, or has been over the last week. With the new releases of the cars, we're going to see more testing, more track time. It'll be great to see. And I think over the next couple of weeks, Pep, we'll get to see where these cars are in the hierarchy.
Max, how good would it be if you were living in Spain? I mean, you could just go and see some testing at the moment and see the cars thrashing around.
And to all you Spaniards out there, I'd like
Why
to hear
aren't
some
you there?
I'd like to hear some reports of
Send us
what
a video.
happened. Lucky buggers.